Yep, it's been the talk of the morning, and it'll be the talk again because we are in the peak of hurricane season. So, you want to be prepared. You know, it is Preparedness Month. The governor doing that. It's federal. It's Preparedness Month across the entire country. So we wanted to get important information this morning. So we have Stephen Howell in from New Hanover EMS, New Hanover Regional Medical Center EMS. We all want to be prepared. We think emergency kits at home, batteries, water, food. On the medical side of things, is it almost a separate kit that we should have?
Pretty much. You got to think about, with a hurricane coming, you want to be prepared for several days of anything that could happen. So if you have a chronic illness, so you're a diabetic, you have respiratory problems, you kind of have to prepare for that. So you have to look at getting extra oxygen if you need that. You have to look at getting extra medications that you need to maintain, you know, your healthy lifestyle. And those are the things you have to look at beforehand. You might need to get a refill a little bit sooner. We also talk to people that have really bad chronic illnesses and say, hey, if you really don't need to be here when the storm hits, then perhaps look to see if there's family, friends, somewhere else that you can go to where you're out of the pathway of the storm, especially if you rely on like a home ventilator or anything like that that requires power, because we all know when a storm hits, we don't know when the power might be back on.
And I was just, as you were saying that, my dad is diabetic, and I thought to myself, you know, it never dawned on me that his medicine, his insulin has to be refrigerated.
It does.
They live in Florida. Their power's out all the time. And now it makes sense because I know that they have things at home to safeguard against that. What are some of the things that people just routinely forget to do?
Well, a lot of them forget, you know, to get just regular type of food that they can eat without having power. They forget to get medicines like Tylenol, stuff for a fever. You got to think, if you have the flu, now we're coming up on flu season 2, and then you have a hurricane hit, you can't really get to a doctor.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people don't think about checking on their neighbors. You know, if you know somebody that has health issues that lives in your neighborhood, checking on them. And a lot of people, after the storm hits, they want to get out and look. And that's really dangerous too, because that's when emergency services, fire, police, and EMS, they're going out and about trying to get around. There's down power lines, there's trees, and then you can end up being a patient when you really don't need to be one.
I know that we talk about food and things like that. You know, everything's perishable at some point. Medicine, do we worry about that as well as far as, well, let me do this now and then, you know, I have it. But how long are those things good that maybe I can still use this next year? It
really just depends on the medicine. You just have to look at what's prescribed to you. Most pharmacists will actually talk to you about that too and tell you what the lifespan is of the medicine. But most of your over-the-counter stuff is usually pretty good for a year or two. So like your aspirins, your Tylenols and stuff like that. So you can stock up on that and have you pretty much like a 72-hour supply of emergency things that you need.
Yeah, it's great information. You know, we've been talking about it all morning long, and I said with Gannon this morning, you know, we were talking about the hurricanes. I didn't know really where Florence was. I knew it was so far away from us, but then all of a sudden it's 5 days out, that it's here. We're still keeping an eye on things. You can never be prepared too early, I think, is the key to always do this.
Exactly.
You don't want to wait till the last minute.
You don't want to wait till the last minute, because if you wait till the last minute, everybody else has too.
Yeah.
And you think about going to Walmart and trying to get stuff you need when everybody's packed in there all at the same time. Yep. So you want to prepare and be ready earlier.
Yeah, then you're just going in there helping them dust. Just wipe off the shelf.
Pretty much. It's going to be empty.
Yeah. Stephen, I appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
And again, you know, we have a great section on our mobile app, on our website, Hurricane Center. You find everything you need to know in case it were to hit. We're back after this.